The other day I had spoke about the reporter. I didn't go into full detail because about people got sidetracked from the healthly thing, but didn't talk about the effects of the illegal immigrants. And I said, nope, I'm not going to defend President Obama. I'm not defending him per se, but I'm going to tell you something. Since Mr. Obama been in office, he's been disrespected in ways that I've never seen any other president disrespected. Now, I know there are people in the media would say that these are happening to President Bush, President Clinton, Bush Sr., Reagan, Carter, Ford, Nixon, Johnson, Kennedy, Eisenhower, Truman. No. Mm-mm. Now, there's always going to be criticism. That's normal within a presidency. But this is a different type of criticism. And as a black man, you recognize it, you know it, you see it. And I think this is probably why a lot of blacks are circling the wagons around Mr. Obama. I get it, I understand it, but we have to be careful not to let that type of emotion dictate what we need as a people and what people are trying to do. Naturally, when you piss off, when you disrespect Mr. Obama and you piss off the right when you call them out on it, they run to Fox News. More so, Sean Hannity. I want to play this clip and I want you to listen to what this guy, Neil Monroe, says, okay? But then also, I'm going to show you a comment left by some people out here on the Huffington Post. Because as I said to you before, the Huffington Post is a new haven for racists. They try to be cute and change a letter in the word or dance around something, but the Huffington Post is racist because I know the level of blacks that go on the Huffington Post have dwindled, either because these blacks stopped going on there or because they either been banned, like I was. And I think if y'all don't know, I think had to be now it's 2010 where I went on there and Reverend Jackson did a off ed or something like what you call it. He was talking about the focus need to be on jobs. And you always get a white person always on here saying something derogatory about a black person. Then you go get a person that claims to be black or half black, as this person said that they were. And they started making fun, saying some pretty insensitive things. Now, I didn't bite, but I said they brought Malcolm X, and I defended Malcolm X and Reverend Jackson. Well, make a long story short, I was blocked, banned. But yet, racist comments, sexist comments, vulgar comments get put out here on Huffington Post. But I'm not surprised because then Warner Brothers, which is AOL Time, however you want to describe the company, they bought them out. And then all of a sudden, Ariana Huffington changed her whole perspective. She's been going around dissing President Obama. So, excuse me, I'm not shocked. But it tells you this country is super racist. It tells you how we as a people are looked upon and how we're treated. But I want to play this for you, and I'm going to show you that those comments, or that particular comment that stood out.
During his prepared remarks. Take a look.
It is the right thing to do. Excuse me, sir. It's not time for questions, sir. Not while I'm speaking. And the answer to your question, sir, and the next time I prefer you let me finish my statements before you ask that question, is this is the right thing to do for the American people. Maybe I didn't ask for an argument. I'm answering your question. It is the right thing to do for the American people, and here's why. Here's the reason. Because these young people are going to make extraordinary contributions and are already making contributions to our society.
Now, the mainstream Obama mania media has jumped all over Monroe for daring to question the president. Joining me tonight to tell his side of the story is the man behind the Rose Garden controversy from the Daily Caller. Neil Monroe is here. Neil, welcome to the program.
Thanks very much.
All right, you've been beaten up pretty badly, I noticed, by your colleagues. Do you feel that that was the appropriate time to ask the president a question?
I haven't noticed the beating up, largely because I'm focusing on my work. I went to the White House knowing the extremely high unemployment rate among African Americans. I wrote an article showing that less than half of African American men aged 18 to 29 have full-time jobs. And the president was making this extraordinary announcement about bringing in a million or so new workers in a time of extraordinary high unemployment. They held no press conference that day. They weren't holding questions. I was hoping he would answer a question, but the only way to ask him a question at these events is to get him at the end as he's leaving, just before he dashes back to the Oval Office. And yes, I mistimed it. I thought I was getting him at the end, frankly, I was wrong about that. Yeah, he didn't answer my questions, and when I asked him, "Will you answer any questions?" he didn't answer. So I gave up at that point and waited till the end of the speech statement, and then I called out the question again as he turned his back on us.
Are you saying that when you did ask that initial question, because he seemed mid-sentence, and when you jumped in, were you anticipating that was his last sentence, the end of his remarks, and you wanted to get him before he left the podium? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the trick is to get him just before he leaves the podium, because as soon as he finishes, he's a very good speaker, walks beautifully, and he's gone into the Oval Office. We've seen this happen lots of times. He'll finish his statements, and flick, he's gone. I was hoping to get him just at the end, right or wrong, and, well, I didn't.
All right, have you heard from the White House? Do you expect any type of retribution? Did you try to apologize? Is there any update to the situation?
I did ask if the White House people wanted to talk to me, but I haven't heard back. I shall proceed on per normal. I'm working on new stories, working on new angles, see what there is.
Now, there's a number of similar instances out there, and I find it interesting. I remember, I know Sam Donaldson's offended when he gets mentioned. Mr. President, did you trade arms for hostages? And they don't want to say that similar. But let's take a look at this tape. And this is President Reagan when he was discussing the issue and handing off the issue of the Iran-Contra issue to his Attorney General at the time, Ed Meese. Watch this.
And now I'm going to ask Attorney General Meese to brief you.
Did you make a mistake in sending arms to Tehran, sir?
No, and I'm not taking any more questions. In just a second, I'm going to ask Attorney General Meese to brief you on what we presently know of what he has found out.
Anyone else want to be let go, sir?
Nobody let go. They chose to go.
What about Secretary Steele? What about Secretary Steele?
Attorney General.
Interestingly, President Reagan wasn't finished with his statement, and there was like 5 of them trying to ask questions. So I found it a little hypocritical. There was fairly widespread condemnation. I think you should have waited till he was finished, but you recognize that. You said so. But I think the media's done it a lot themselves, so for them to be critical seems hypocritical to me.
I don't think, I'm not going to worry about it. What I noticed from that clip is President Reagan actually turned up, talked to the press, handed over his AG, he answered the questions. On this occasion, the president announces a de facto amnesty for 1 million people, turns his back on the American people and walks back into the Oval Office. Clearly, President Reagan was more willing to talk, even in difficult circumstances.
You see, I think this president has gotten a free ride from the media, those that are now critical of you, and let me give you a few of the softball questions they've thrown President Obama over the last couple of years.
Thomas Jefferson once said the presidency is a splendid misery, but at the end of his term, he also said, quote, that the presidency had brought him nothing but increasing drudgery and a daily loss of friends. I just wonder, have you lost any friends yet?
You're so confident, Mr. President, and so focused. Is your confidence ever shaken?
We're sitting 30 feet from Harry Truman's official White House portrait. The members of your base are asking, when are you going to get your Harry Truman on?
Thank you, Mr. President. Last night at the Republican debate, some of the hopefuls, they hope to get your job, they defended the practice of waterboarding. So I'm wondering if you think that they're uninformed, out of touch, or irresponsible.
Uninformed, out of touch. You think the media's been too easy on them, your colleagues?
Yes, clearly, and for a variety of reasons that are hard to correct. But we at the Daily Caller will try not to be easy on him and try not to be easy on the next president. It's our job to work for the American people through our publications to provide them the information that the politicians are reluctant to hand out. We got to do our job.
All right. Thanks, Neil Monroe. Appreciate you being with us.
Okay. First of all, let me point out, these are two Irish men. One American born, one not. Let's get that out. First of all, the Daily Caller is Tucker Carlson's paper. Anybody know who Tucker Carlson is? Okay. Now, first thing came out, African American. Nice try, buddy. But I ain't never heard you advocating for our people before, so don't even try to do that mind fuck, okay? Then you know damn well, you're a reporter, you know the president wasn't finished. Even I know it. Now, let's get to Sean, I hate black people, Hannity. Here it is. No matter what people do to this president, disrespectful, he finds a way to defend it. But I guarantee you, if this is a black reporter, they did that to a white president, did that to George Bush, or Lord forbid, Ronald, he was a racist Reagan, people will be up in arms. Going back to what somebody said or may have did 20, 30 some years ago is not the same thing. Then Sean Hannity goes in like, oh, we're going to show clips of people doing softball questions. Those are the same questions that ask every president. Every president at some point get a softball question. And I don't think those questions are softball. I think what it was that they trying to find something to just disrespect this man. But what gets me is how they want to speak to the black community and say, and this guy going to say, well, you know, he's a good speaker, he's a good reader, he walks very well. Don't you know how racist that shit is? It's coming out your mouth, but they don't care. These bastards are so hateful. Here it is. This man ain't even done nothing to them. In fact, this man has made it better for them in some cases. Big business. But the idea that a black man is not faltering, they can't stand that. The man got Bin Laden. The man made a wise decision to go after Bin Laden. And what happened? They weren't even giving him his credit. President Bush did it. Well, President Obama didn't do it. It was Navy team or SEALs team, whatever. I'm sitting like, wow. But I want to show you a comment that somebody left. And I'm gonna tell you how. Let's see something. Let me see. Okay, this person right here says Obama equal clown. Obama equal clown followers. Oh, this one I'm talking about stood out. This person by the name of Fire Stallion, they always leave some racial comments. So the poor little rigger boy got interrupted from his teleprompter. So sad. So the poor little rigger, nigger boy. Now, some people picked up on it real quick. Racist piece of crap you are. You are despicable. But the Huffington Post allowed this shit to be put on. This is why people hit YouTube so hard with us. Because they don't want us to speak. And unfortunately, we have some weak-minded, silly acting black men and black women don't realize that they are aiding with us being banned or taken off these social media sites. If you go over to News One, you see the whites are following blacks over there. And I'm like, why in the fuck do they get into our conversations? Why in the fuck do they disrespect us so? Then when something happens to them, they like, why? This man is not an American-born citizen. He tried to use that bait and switch. Well, African-American unemployment, where were you at prior to this? Where are you at? Why aren't you out there talking about unemployment? Why aren't you out there calling out the birthers? If you're so worried about black African-American unemployment, then wouldn't that in essence mean you worried about other issues that affect the black community? See, I don't like when white folk, or let me phrase that, racist white folk try to mind fuck us. Now, granted, I would have gave him some slack if he said, I apologize and let the president finish and then made an apology. But Tucker Carlson and him they hunkered down. Then you had Sean Hannity the other night defending this guy. I'm waiting after Mr. Obama do his turn. I'm waiting for the black reporters to do this. I guarantee they get banned from the White House. I guarantee they get disrespected in the media. I keep trying to tell y'all, these bastards are no earthly good. Every day they prove me right. Every day they do something. And some of y'all don't want to admit it because y'all don't want to admit that, maybe my mother and father was wrong. Maybe grandma and grandpa was wrong. Maybe the teachers, maybe the church was wrong. Maybe me watching those Disney shows, maybe it really messed my head up. Maybe me sleeping with that white woman or that white guy got me messed up. Maybe watching all these commercials with nothing but white faces got me messed up. And I can't keep trying to rationalize what these people are saying and what they're doing. They've made threats to this man. They've made insult after insult to the black community. And see, this is why a lot of blacks are in that dilemma. Now, me, I'm not so much anymore in that dilemma. I used to be where I got to support him. I got to defend him. But this is not about just President Obama. This is about the black community. When you disrespect him, you're disrespecting us. Think about it. If you're going to disrespect the commander-in-chief, what did John and Joan Q. Public have a chance at? Ever since this man ran, we've been getting hit from the left and right. But at the same time, I tell our brothers and sisters, we got to step it up. We got to call this shit out. Letting these assholes get away with this shit has done nothing but cause us grief and pain. Here it is. They gave Netanyahu, the Congress and the Senate, a standing ovation after he openly disrespected Mr. Obama. Here it is. Foreign dignitaries have came in this country, white dignitaries have came in this country who have questionable policies, have questionable issues with the black population in their countries. We treat them like gods. But when people of color come over this country or speak, they disrespect them, they mock their appearance, they do everything. I'm telling y'all, this stuff is out here if y'all want to see it. But some of our people, oh man, you're just being sensitive. They do this to everybody. No, they don't. No, they don't. Remember when Dick Cheney faked that he had hurt his back on inauguration day when he getting kicked called standing for Mr. Obama? Now, I got my issues with the president, but this shit that they putting this man through is disrespectful. But it's sort of like karma coming to bite Mr. Obama at the same time. You throw us under the bus, they further disrespect you. This man's been disrespected in front of the world. That's treasonous in my opinion. But see, until we start demanding respect, we're going to constantly get hit like this. If I was the White House, I would block that motherfucker. Fuck what the media say. The Obama White House has let Fox News and them punk them out, and some elements, conservative elements within these media organizations. I am sick and tired of this.